She's so dramatic, posted caption.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a first impression and a wear test on the Revolution Pro new Revolution Pro brand. I'm not testing out every single thing. I'm just testing out the primer and the foundation and the lip pigment. So I chose to get the foundation drops, and this is in the shade F8, and they had loads of primers. I got the one in Radiant Peach, so I'm going to be testing this one out, and a lip pigment in the shade Foresight. So these packaging remind me of the YSL packaging, so very luxurious. Yeah, so if you guys would like to see my first impressions and a wear test throughout the day, stay tuned, and the video is about to follow. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. So first up, I got the Revolution Pro Radiant Peach primer, and this is supposed to be brightening, as it says on here. They had loads of different primers. I chose to get this one. So first up, it looks like this. So it is like a peachy salmony color. So I'm going to apply this all over my face. It doesn't feel silicone-y, but it feels very moisturizing. I really like this. It really softens up the skin and hydrates it. It is very it feels like it feels a lot like sun cream when you're applying it. It feels, you do need to go in with a lot though, because it soaks into the skin really fast. But it glides on like a sun cream, like that greasy feeling. But once it's on your skin, it feels so soft and supple. So yeah, that has evened out my skin a lot. I will say that it is flaking off. Like the more you rub it, you get these little bits coming off, which is not good. Tacky but smooth at the same time. So now I'm going to go in with the foundation. The Revolution Pro foundation drops in the shade F8. It seems to be a good match for me in the store, but I was confused between this and another shade, but the other one at times seemed a bit too dark for me. So I'm just going to go in with this. So let me see, it looks like it is a dropper. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm just going to get... Ooh, I feel like... Oh, I forgot to correct my skin. I guess we'll have a look at the coverage like this. So I think I will need a bit more. As you can see, it's really runny. It's already dripping down. I don't know how I feel about these droppers. Let's check out the coverage. It's a bit too light for me, this foundation, and I can see all my dark patches soaking through, but it does look very dewy and luminous. I feel like it's gonna wear off really quickly. I'm not really a fan of this. It's gone onto my eye, so I might as well do the eye. I don't know how it would look throughout the day, but so far it's not my cup of tea.
Honestly, girl, who do you think you fool in every caption that I read? I see.
You can see my skin peeking through a bit too much. I like the luminosity of it, but it seems a bit too, like, do you see this? I don't know if you guys can see this, but I just run my finger through it and it's moved. Can't even show it to you guys. So it's just made a streak. So you'd have to really set this foundation all over. So I am gonna set this. I'm just gonna set one half of the face. I feel like if I had acne scars, they will come through, because I can definitely see my psoriasis marks come through. I'm gonna go in with a new concealer as well. So this one is Nyx Concealer. So it's not a new concealer, it's just new for me. So I'm not gonna bother to correct my under eyes since I haven't corrected the rest of my face. Darker than my foundation. I feel like this foundation is not gonna last long. It's very oily. Ooh, I like this concealer. On my forehead as well. It's done nothing. Put a bit more under my eyes. This foundation is already settling into my lines. Set with the RCMA No Colour powder. Set both my under eyes since we're not putting that to the test. I'm gonna get the Real Techniques powder brush and just run that along one half of my face. So this half, I'm gonna keep the other half powderless, because we want to see how this foundation wears without setting it. So I do like how it looks with the powder on it. So I've used the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finishing Powder, and I do like how it looks with the powder on. It did start to settle in my fine lines right here, but it was much worse before I put the powder on, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna get you so close. Can you guys see that it's already settled in my fine lines? And this is the side with the powder on. It's helped a little bit, but not so much. So this is the rest of my face. And this is what the coverage is like, which is not too bad given that I didn't use corrector. And you know what, normally when I use corrector, these still peek through, so I'm not mad about that. It's just, it's gonna separate. It's really oily. So yeah, it is 9:35. I'll come back to you guys at 1 o'clock actually, so that will be 4 hours. 9:35 to 1:35 will be 4 hours. So I'll come back after 4. Pro Supreme Matte Lip Pigment as well. So I might as well put this to test as well. So this is in the shade Foresight. So that's what it looks like. It's like a flat doe foot. It is super comfortable. So this is in the shade Foresight. Back to you guys at 1:35 guys after 4 hours, and we will see what it looks like on the side with the powder on and the side without the powder. So guys, it is now almost 2 o'clock. I was supposed to be here at 1:35. So it's been 4.5 hours, almost 4.5 hours. So I've got creasing on my eyelid. Bear in mind I already had concealer on there, so yeah, and I ended up having some foundation going on there. And this side I've got creasing as well, so make what you want of it. Regarding creasing along my smile lines, both sides look the same. They've creased on both sides, so setting it with a powder didn't really make a difference around there. In fact, this side looks much more creased than that side. So this is the side with the powder on. This is what my skin is looking like. I find that it's creased on my forehead. It's worn off around where I've had my psoriasis. The coverage is completely gone from there. But I find that the side with the powder has creased a lot more than this side, if you guys can see. So this is the side with no powder, apart from my under eyes, which is also creased, but we're looking at the foundation right now. So this is the side with the powder, and this is the side without. So I've lost some foundation around here. So it's been 4.5 hours. So this is the lipstick. I want to say that this lipstick is so comfortable to wear. It's not sticky, but I can feel it like getting more powdery. And obviously I've had cups of teas. I haven't had lunch yet, so I've got a bit wearing off in the middle, but the rest of it looks fine. Come back to you about 4 o'clock. That will make it 6.5 hours, and I was supposed to do this 8 hours, but I can see this already wearing off in some areas, so I don't think I need to do it for that long. Now 4:04 p.m. I've had this on since 9:30 in the morning. I did not touch up anything. I did have some rice and curry. I will say that this foundation does oxidize because it's gone a lot more darker than before. And as you can see, my lipstick has come off quite a bit, but still I would say it's a very good lipstick, given that it's Makeup Revolution lipsticks. Worn off drastically on my forehead. It has collected where my psoriasis is, and it's come off a lot. I don't think the powder has made much of a difference on the durability. When I first applied it, it seemed like it was holding a lot more on this side than where I didn't put the powder on, but it looks exactly the same on both sides. I mean, there's like flakiness around here, and if I get you guys more close up, this is what it's looking like around the mouth. So it's you can see my smile lines. It's more prominent on the side where there isn't any powder, and you can see my large pores on this side, whereas here it's not as bad. Overall, I would give this foundation a 6 out of 10. It collected around my smile lines straight away. Collected or separated? It's separated. So I've kept it on for 6.5 hours now. Drugstore foundation, I think is worn off quite well. It's to be expected. Only thing is, it does oxidize. I did find this foundation to be a bit too light for me when I first put it on, but now it seems like it's just adjusted to my skin color. I don't want to judge too much on the eyes. I mean, it's separated and creased in the eyes, but I I did apply Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and then set it with RCMA No Color Powder, and then when I was applying foundation it went on there, so it's kind of all mixed up together. And I think I had some concealer, the NYX Concealer, go up on there as well. I don't remember. I give the primer about a 3 out of 10 simply because it was flaking off. Otherwise it was very moisturizing, and I do feel it did a great job working with the foundation. It did give me a luminous finish, the foundation and the primer both. It did brighten up my skin, but just for the fact that it started to flake off, it started getting flaky and it came off, is the reason why I've given it a 4 out of 10. So a 6 out of 10 for the foundation, a 4 out of 10 for the primer, and for the lipstick I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 as well, maybe a 7 out of 10, because this kind of wearing off is to be expected. I mean, when I came back to you guys earlier on, I did have a cup of tea and I just had a little bit come off, but let me try something. I want to apply more of it without taking this off. I want to see how it layers on top of a lipstick, so if we top up how it would look like. So it's layered on fine, it's not feeling flaky or crumbly after layering on top. Sorry about the sound. So it's not feeling any different by layering it on top. Give me 5 more minutes and I want to see how this lipstick stays on top of the old one. Almost 5 minutes. I want to say that it feels like I've got something on my lips right now, whereas before it didn't feel so much. It feels gooey and sticky. Like when I do that, I can feel all the wrinkles, all the creases on my lips sticking together, but it's not crumbling off or anything, so it's definitely layerable. It's like if you want to top up during the day, you can always do that. So for that, I'm gonna give this lipstick a 6 out of 10 as well. Obviously it's not a high-end lipstick, it's not costing you so much, so you can afford to have a bit of wearing off and so on. So yeah, overall I'm very happy with the lipstick and the foundation. The primer I'm a bit on the fence about, but the foundation, being drugstore, I'm very happy, even though it did collect on my psoriasis. But how many people have psoriasis? So you know, foundation is gorgeous. I love the luminosity of it. I don't know if the primer plays a big part in it, but it is supposed to be a non-matte foundation, so I am thinking that the foundation is doing a lot of it too. Primer is lovely, just the flaking off I did not like. Otherwise it leaves a very smooth but tacky surface where it will hold on to the foundation. Obviously it hasn't really held on to the foundation, given that I did use powder on top as well. But usually my Charlotte Tilbury powder makes the makeup last really long. But I do usually set it with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray as well. And I didn't use that today because I wanted to see how this makeup lasts. So yeah, I hope this review was helpful for you guys. I hope I wasn't too confusing, because I do tend to go off track a lot. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up and I shall see you guys as soon as possible.